All right. Exercising is one of the most important things you can do for your physical, emotional, and mental health. Today I want to focus on the specific benefits of physical activity that does for your brain. On livestrong.com, they give a short example of what physical activity does to your brain. It states, working out causes alterations in the brain. In this case, change is good as the brain experiences growth. New synapses, which are connections, are formed when the body is engaged in physical activity. A sharper mind occurs in which memory is improved, cognition increased, and the brain also benefits by a greater production of serotonin, a chemical which acts as a mood stabilizer to relieve depression. By raise of hands, how many of you exercise on a daily or maybe 3 to 4 times a week? Okay, most of you. I'll pick on you. Do you notice a change, besides physically, do you notice a change in your mental status at all when you exercise? Right here in the back.
Sometimes.
Okay, what kind of change do you experience?
Like a better mood, a better day.
Okay.
Because you feel better.
Okay, anybody else notice any changes in your physical mind when you exercise?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have more energy to finish out the day, for one thing. You feel like you accomplished something.
Definitely. I know when I exercise, I don't get it in every day, but when I do, my day goes so much better, and my mind is much clearer, and I get a lot more done in that day. I found a New York Times blog where they specifically talk about areas of health. Gretchen Reynolds wrote an article titled, "How Exercise Benefits the Brain." It says, to learn more about how exercise affects the brain, scientists in Ireland recently asked a group of sedentary male college students to take part in a memory test followed by strenuous exercise. First, the young men watched a rapid-fire lineup of photos with the faces of names and strangers. After a break, they tried to recall the names they had just seen as the photos zipped across the computer screen. Afterward, half of the students rode a stationary bike at an increasingly strenuous pace until they were exhausted. The others sat quietly for 30 minutes. Then both groups took the brain test teaser again. Notably, the exercise volunteers performed significantly better on the memory test than those who had been sitting. Meanwhile, blood samples taken throughout the experiment offered a biological explanation for the boost in memory among the exercisers. Immediately after the strenuous activity, the cyclists had significantly higher levels of a protein known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. This is known to promote the health of nerve cells. The men who had sat quietly showed no comparable change in these levels. A few of the things that I really liked about this experiment is that they used sedentary college students. I know all of us realize how important it is that every day that we go to class, every night we do homework, that our brains are firing, that we are able to concentrate on what we're reading, and to finish the assignments that we are given. I also like that they took blood samples. This was another great way and to show extra proof that exercise does indeed change the nerve cells in our body. I know there are thousands and thousands of studies that have been done with the exercise and brain function. I personally can't imagine that they would ever get any negative results from these experiments. And I'm pretty sure that every experiment shows some significant change. The next thing I want to talk about is the effects of exercise on those who suffer from depression. I want you all to think for just a minute if you know of anybody in your family, circle of friends, or even any of yourselves that have suffered from this illness. On upliftprogram.com, they give some statistics that astounded me. These are: depressive disorders affect approximately 18.8 million American adults, or about 9.5% of the U.S. population age 18 and older, in any given year. Another one. Everyone will at some time in their life be affected by depression, their own or someone else's, according to Australian government statistics. Preschoolers are the fastest growing market for antidepressants. I thought that was amazing and sad. 15% of the population of most developed countries suffers severe depression. 30% of women are depressed. Men's figures were previously thought to be half that of women, but that has increased over the years. 54% of people believe that depression is a weakness. I think that is also sad. 41% of depressed women are too embarrassed to seek help. I've been in that category. 80% of depressed people are not currently having any treatment. 80%. That, to me, was astounding. That is a high percentage rate. 92% of depressed African American males do not ever seek treatment. And 15% of depressed people will commit suicide. Now that we know some of the statistics, MayoClinic.com gives us several effects of exercise that can ease depression. Some more statistics for you. They release feel-good brain chemicals that may ease depression, reduce immune system chemicals that can worsen depression, increase body temperature, which may have calming effects. They also included in this study psychological and emotional benefits from exercise. These include gain confidence, meeting exercise goals or challenges, even small ones, can boost your self-esteem. Getting in shape can also make you feel better about your appearance. Take your mind off worries. Exercise is a distraction that can get you away from the cycle of negative thoughts or feelings of anxiety that you may have during the day. You can also get more social interaction. Exercise can give you the chance to meet and socialize with others. Dr. John Rady, MD, a brain researcher, wrote a book about the effects of exercise on the brain, and he created a program called Spark. My husband teaches math at Roosevelt High School here in Casper, and a few years ago they actually started this program, the Spark program. So every day the students come in, it's an actual class, and for 30 minutes these students have to be involved in a physical activity. Some of the things they may do is walk a couple of blocks around the community. They also have exercise equipment in their gym. Once in a while they will play a sport, do some calisthenics, and my husband always tells me that he sees such a huge difference in these kids. You know, most high school kids, they come in, they sit down, they don't want to be there, they don't want to work. And he's noticed that after they get through exercising, they are more alert, they're in better moods, and their focus has improved. So it has definitely been a program worthwhile having. In a 2007 study published in the Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology, Charles Hillman, an associate professor of kinesiology and neuroscience, put 259 Illinois third graders and fifth graders through standard physical education routines such as push-ups and timed run, and he measured their body mass. Then he checked their physical results against their math and reading scores on the Illinois Standards Achievement Test. He says, "There was a relationship to academic performance," says Hillman. "The more physical tests they passed, the better they scored on the achievement test. The effects appeared regardless of gender or socioeconomic differences, so it seems that regardless of his or her race or family income, the fitness of a child's body and mind are tightly linked." In conclusion, it is clear that exercise is fundamental key to improve your brain function. It decreases symptoms of depression, and it increases achievement in the classroom. Like our bodies, our brains need to be active, and they need to be exercised. Regular physical activity is the very key to physical, emotional, and mental wellness, and it helps us lead a much more healthy and well-balanced life. Thank you.
It's warm in here, huh?
Until you get up there.
Yeah, I know.